They were led to the Rumford Motor Inn, which is located a short distance from where the breaks and larcenies occurred at 400 Newport Ave in Rumford. Further surveillance footage and information gathered at the Rumford Motor Inn led officers to the room of the suspect. Contact was made with the suspect, identified as 37-year-old Providence resident Nelson Wilson. In plain view, there were numerous suspected stolen items and narcotics. Detective Kurt Ripke, to my left, the lead investigator, applied for and was granted a search warrant for the room. During that search, approximately 200 items were seized from the room, including wallets, purses, clothing, backpacks, jewelry, tools, keys, laptops, credit cards, and Social Security cards. This by no means is an all-inclusive list. Also seized was a Smith & Wesson .40 caliber handgun and approximately 15 grams of cocaine. Mr. Wilson is currently charged with the following: possession of a stolen motor vehicle. As the investigation revealed, he was the one who dumped the abandoned vehicle we received a call on, and it was indeed stolen out of the city of Pawtucket. He's also charged with being a felon in possession of a firearm, 2 counts of breaking and entering, 8 counts of tampering with a vehicle, 2 counts of larceny. This investigation is very active, and we fully anticipate additional charges will be levied. We are trying right now to identify the many, many victims potentially out there. This, to my right, is just a very small sampling of some of the items that were seized from the hotel room. So now I'm going to have Detective Captain James Nelson come forward, and he's going to provide a few details on what people should do if they suspect that they may have property that was stolen. Captain?
Thank you, Chief. In regards to a lot of the items that we haven't been able to link to victims yet, we discovered the suspect had been staying in the Attleboro area at a similar motel as what he was staying in before. So we suspect that there's numerous car breaks in the Attleboro, Pawtucket area. We've got some victims from that area as well, and they've let us know that their neighborhood was hit within the last couple of weeks with numerous car breaks. So we ask anybody that car that was broken into, they have items missing, they believe that they're missing something, they can contact the East Providence Police Department, give us a good description of the items, and we can try and backtrack that way, see what we have on hand that we were able to seize from the suspect and try and match it up that way. Once we are able to pretty well verify that we have an item that might have been stolen from their vehicle, we'll ask them to go to the department where their vehicle was broken into, file a formal report at that point. We encourage everyone to do that anytime their vehicle is broken into, but we will strongly encourage them so we can get as many charges as we can going forward on the suspect.
Thank you. If I could just add too, many of these vehicles were unlocked. We can't stress enough, lock your vehicles. Many of these breaks could have been avoided by vehicles being locked. I'd also like to touch upon the motel in which this gentleman was staying at, the Rumford Motor Inn. We've had significant issues over many, many years, police-related issues. And I'm going to ask Mayor De Silva to come up and speak about the path forward regarding that motel.
Thank you, Chief. I want to first start off by crediting the East Providence Police Department and Detective Kurt Ripke, Captain James Nelson, and the rest of the team who were able to quickly bring a resolution to an incident that was causing a lot of concern around our community. This particular location, the Rumford Motor Inn, has been the source of many incidents over the last few years. Incidents that really are threatening the life, safety and security of our residents, nearby residents. Not only is this a clear example of how this particular facility attracts bad actors that then act badly in our community. But we also had recent incidents handled by the East Providence Police Department where a person discharged a firearm at this facility, where a person tried to set a fire in the facility. And looking at the data, the East Providence Police Department are frequently responding to this particular facility to deal with issues and concerns. So earlier today, Chief Francisconi and some other members of our city staff met with the owners, and we are working with them to see this facility transition from a motor inn, a motel facility, to some other use. So we've offered the owners all of our assistance through zoning, building, and everybody else, that we could help them transition this property from a motel, motor inn, into some other use. And we also know that we have other legal tools in our toolbox. Should we not be satisfied by the direction in which the owners are going in, we will use all of the tools available to bring an end to the scourge that this facility has caused on the surrounding community. So once again, I want to thank the chief, Kurt Ripke in particular, and the rest of the team for doing an upstanding investigation on this and bringing this person to justice. And as the chief mentioned earlier, really this is about getting the word out to the community that not only have they done a great job, but there are other victims out there that need to be identified so we can pair them up to their property. And we also want to let the surrounding neighbors and the people in our community know that we are taking action against this motel to end this source of a major problem that we've been dealing with for a very, very long time. Chief.
Thank you, Mayor. I'd like to open up to any questions you may have.
Either Chief or Mayor, what do you mean by assistance with zoning? Like, what realistically would that look like for the motel?
So we spoke to the owners today, and we expressed to them that we would work with them to in any way, shape, or form needed to see this property go from a motel use to some other use. Something that could be residential, could be apartments, whatever it is that they decide. It's too early to actually give specifics because we have another meeting within 3 weeks, and the goal is that they're going to come to us with a plan on what they plan on doing with this property. We pretty much told them we're done. We're not going to be dealing with the situation going forward as a motel, because this particular facility has been a source of continued issues and problems for the residents who live nearby and for the members of the East Providence Police Department, because the data shows that we are there way too often dealing with issues that we shouldn't have to deal with, and basically are bringing problems from other communities into what is really a bedroom community in Rumford.
Did the owners seem amenable to those changes, and are these owners like longtime owners? Are they often switching ownership?
They are longtime owners, and they are very cooperative. They want to work with us, and they really appreciated the fact that we called them in to have this conversation with them. I know that members of the city council are also very upset with what's going on. This is a business that's licensed through the city. So in the past, there had been restrictions placed on their license where we were doing regular visits with the council to see what kind of issues or problems were happening there. This was back in 2018, 2019, I believe. But going forward, our intent is to transition this use from the Rumford Motor Inn into some other use, some other use that could benefit the owners and the community.
With all of those calls that have happened, though, I guess what was the turning point? Was it just the size and significance of this particular incident?
No, I think what's happened is it's been happening over and over again, and this particular incident is actually the straw that broke the proverbial camel's back, because multiple people in our community were impacted by these individuals committing crimes in our surrounding neighborhood. And once again, these are not people who are from our community. They are transient. They come in, they stay at this Rumford Motor Inn, and while they're there, they're committing crimes in our community.
Going back to the actual arrest on this, can we walk through the timeline a little more clearly on that? I know you had mentioned arrested earlier this week, but it sounds like these things were happening weeks ago. Do we have a timeline on all of this?
So we believe that we know the person we have in custody and the items we seized, that all stem from this past Sunday. prior to that, we believe, starting right around November 1st, this person was staying in Attleboro, at the Attleboro Motor Lodge. And we have reason to believe that a lot of the items that we seized from the room stem from crimes he was committing in that area and in Pawtucket. So, Captain, correct me if I'm wrong, but November 1st forward seems like a good time frame, correct?
As far as we can tell right now, that's a good starting date.
And as far as the suspect in custody, is he here? Is he where is he right now?
He was a probation violator, and he was held at the ACI. Mhm.
And you mentioned transient, so not an East Providence resident. Do we know?
Correct. The address he provided us was a Providence address. Yeah. It's very, the Rumford Motor Inn is known for, individuals using drugs, and other many illicit activities.
In terms of immediate action with that motel right now, is everyone going to be, kicked out, or is this something that's going to be?
No. There is, Mayor De Silva and his staff set up a status meeting in 3 weeks from now to see where the owner's plans lie. And so we should have more information regarding the status of that motor inn in 3 weeks.
It's also, Chief, I can also, the city council is the governing body for licensing in the city. They may decide to take quicker action. So I have been in contact with the councilman from the area and the council president, so they may decide that they want to take quicker action. I'm pretty much fed up with what's happening with this facility. I really want to thank the owners for coming in and meeting with us and being agreeable to work with us. They do want to bring in a plan within the next 3 weeks of how they would foresee transitioning this property from a motel into something else. But we did make it clear to them that we have the tools in the toolbox necessary to go after this, to end this as a motor inn. So we will be using all tools available to us to go forward.
Do you know how old this business is? How long has it been open?
I think the owner today told us she's had it at least 17 or 18 years, right? But I don't know how long it's been there. I can't.
He's owned it for 19 years,
19
but
years.
I know it's been there for at least 25 to 30 years.
Well past.
Well past that, yeah.
Of the 200 items, do we have hey, we're at like 50% of these are assigned to people claiming them? Do we have a ballpark number on how many of these?
I think we're under 50%. There's probably, 30 plus more people that were
Yeah, we're at.
the potential victims, just through IDs and social security cards and documentation. We tried to look them up in our computer system, the cross agency, reaching out to them. Sometimes it isn't always a good address, a good phone number. So we have some people's information, but we're having trouble reaching out to them exactly. I'd say less than half of the stuff we've identified with an actual victim at this point.
How soon can they get items like a wallet back from you guys?
We photographed every item. So small stuff like that, we have no problem turning over. We've documented it. We've photographed it. So we have documentation going forward for court or whatever. We're not looking to withhold items from people, especially stuff that they might need, car keys, stuff like that. It's the loose change and the old gift cards that we're going to have trouble with, because there's no name on a gift card, and how much loose change did everybody have in their car?
Was this guy kind of like a lone wolf, just stealing things by himself, or any other suspects you guys are looking at?
There is potential other suspects at this time. No one else has been charged. We'll say that.
Has he been arraigned yet, or is that expected in the next?
He was arraigned Monday morning by the bail commissioner. Not sure what his next court date is. It'll probably be a status hearing for parole, since he's held as a violator.
Will you guys be sending a mugshot?
As soon as the computer system comes back up, we'll make that available.
Sorry, I think it was mentioned it was parole violator, but also probation violator, so I just wanted to confirm which it was.
I think it's probation.
Probation?
Probation.
Probation.
But I'm not 100% on that.
We can confirm that, and we can send it out to you when we send the mugshot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
I know transit makes it hard to find where. Was this someone you guys had ever interacted with, the department ever interacted with before, or was this a non-thing?
No, he was new to us.
Any issues with detaining him or that arrest that you made at the inn?
No, he came to the door when Detective Ripke went to the door. There was another person at the room, the person who actually rented the room, but through conversation and observations, they were taken into custody within a few minutes of speaking with them, based on the evidence they were able to see and obtain.
You mentioned he had cocaine on him. Was that his or something else that was stolen, and will that be looked?
We're not sure if it was stolen. It was on his person when he was brought to the station, and it was found during our search of him.
Yep.
Just before the BCI office crushes us for having everybody call a million times. Just if you're gonna come pick up your property, just call and make an appointment with them. Don't just show up to the station because we might not be in the office or following up the rest of the investigation. So just call and make an appointment with them if you're gonna come pick up some property first.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate you coming out. Thank you.
Hey guys, a release will be going out with no shop.
Thank you.
Josh, guys, the charges one more time.